right, dumbass fucking old dog.
You can use that as a tagline.
Nah, Donut can't. I don't think Donut can get that far. I think it was Claire. But fuck it. Ding dongs. What's up?
Welcome back, everyone. You are now tuned in to the Schlabcast. Andy, Jeff, and Caleb back at you again with some more NFL news, talking some preseason news and notes, as well as some training camp and some off-field NFL news as well. But first, how are you guys both doing? We survived the hurricane.
Yeah. Not really like a hurricane. I think it was a little exaggerated, but we made it. Had a couple of trees go a little crazy, but I think everyone survived. How was it up there for you, Caleb?
When it started raining, it rained for like 10 solid hours, but there were definitely storms worse from this past winter. But I'm sure there were some spots that were pretty messed up, had died quite a bit before it got to us. In any event, the storm that never was, or the hurricane that never was.
We're here.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're podcasting.
We're
For
schlobbing.
you out there.
For all you guys, yes. The NFL is only 17 days away. Caleb, did you want to mention any famous 17s?
Oh, yeah.
NFL?
So there's quite a few 17s. We're pretty close. It's not as obscure numbers like 57 or something we couldn't figure out.
It was a 53 Navarro
50,
Bowman.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just some weird prime number. Another one, some 17s in football. We got the great Phillip Rivers. Devontae Adams is also a 17. Josh Allen, Ryan Tannehill, Cowboy first team all-pro quarterback, can't talk. Don Meredith, also 17. Alshon Jeffries, I found. And the human, I don't know how to describe him. Some kind of Mad Lib for insert your own whatever. Plaxico Burress.
A taco number one pick.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
how you describe him.
That's perfect. 17 days. I'm stoked. I can see it now. The light at the end tunnels here.
Yeah, how are you feeling about it, Jeff?
Pretty stoked. Caught my first real preseason action on TV this past weekend. Planning the draft is making me very much excited and making it happen right now.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden it's here.
All right, so let's just get right into it. So recording this on a Monday, August 21st, and we do have a lot of news to touch up on. So just want to breeze through some of these news. So first thing, Aaron Rodgers recently said that he plans to play a few more years with the Jets, not a one and done. For a while leading up, even before his arrival to the Jets, it seemed like there was a lot of suspicion whether or not he was going to even play or retire, or if he was on the Jets, if it was going to just be for 1 year. But now it seems like he's happy, he's comfortable, and he wants to stay there for longer. How do you guys feeling about that?
I believe him. I'm sure he wants to. My initial thought is we'll see what that collarbone says. If he wants to play 2 or 3 years, I bet he just finishes there. It could be it was so sour with Green Bay. I don't know if they sign him back for a 1-day type of thing so he can retire as a Packer. So I don't see him playing anywhere else, I guess.
No, I agree with that. I don't see him playing anywhere else. Could be like a Brady type situation. Just a few years, try to get another ring. And when I'm done, I'm done. I'll walk off, whatever.
But it will be Sauce's ring. It was not Aaron Rodgers. Sauce won it. Okay.
He'll definitely have to play a big part if they do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
You don't see him signing with the Vikings and following in the footsteps of another Packers great.
Oh my God. Oh my, that'd be amazing.
All right. And then moving to some more breaking news. So originally, Jonathan Taylor, this past week, he was actually placed on the PUP. So essentially meaning that the Colts had roughly a decision to make a week from this upcoming Tuesday to either place him on the 53-man roster or else he misses the first 4 games. Ultimately, today, it was just announced that the Colts have granted him permission to seek a trade. It seems like this was in the books. It got messy from the beginning once the owner spoke badly about Taylor. So how do you guys feel about the latest news? Do you see any possible landing spots for him?
I don't see any possible landing spots right now. I don't know. It feels like everybody has already started to sign somebody that they wanted extra, maybe the Raiders, if Josh Jacobs doesn't work out. I don't know. It's a little too late. I think the Colts kind of mess with him here, and he's just going to have to end up playing for them or sit out.
They have a psychopath as a owner, but
yeah,
I'll take him. Cowboys will take him. Why not? We saved a little bit of money with a big signing. We'll get into in a little bit, but I'm into it. Bring him over to Dallas. I don't see that actually happening though, on the record. And I don't know really where he would go. It'll be really tough. They're in between a rock and a hard place for sure.
Yeah, obviously it's like really ugly right now. I do see him getting traded just because I just don't see both parties just being able to just coexist much longer. Where he goes, I'm not sure. I do think though that there is a small chance. I put it at probably like a 25% chance that the Eagles will trade for him. I know Howie Roseman is known to make those deals. Our running back depth is really not that good as it appears. I know they're asking for significant capital and draft picks, so it's yet to be seen, but I would put it at a 25% chance that Howie Roseman makes a move.
What do you think that trade entails? Like just draft picks. You don't have to get into the money side. Like what do you think draft picks wise you'd have to give up? That you could too. I don't know what the Eagles have, and don't have coming up.
It would sound kind of low, but originally I think it would have been something like a third and a fifth. But I think they want something like, it says actually they want a minimum of like a first. I think they I think they would probably settle though for like a second and maybe like a fourth or something. Because I think you have to also understand that the team too is giving the capital, but then they also got to assign him to a deal too. So I think a second and maybe a couple other late draft picks would actually do the deal.
Do that.
Considering how messy it's gotten, they just want to cut ties now. Just breezing through a few more of these signings. So Dalvin Cook finally did sign his deal with the Jets. So 1 year, $7 million up to 8.6. You guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we expected that. We said that in the last video. We were pretty sure that he was going to sign. He had the Hard Knocks sign off. Seems like a fair 1 year deal for joining the super team. So yeah, cool with it.
I think he did a pretty good job, especially with kind of what's guaranteed. Makes sense. And really, the Jets are going to, I think, just go for it. This might not be their last big signing, really, between here and the end of the year.
It'll be interesting to see how they balance out Dalvin Cook with Breece Hall coming back from injury. And moving over to another running back signing, I believe it might have been in the same class as Dalvin Cook, but Zeke Elliott signs his 1 year, $4 million deal up to $6 million with the New England Patriots. Any thoughts on that?
His work ethic is going to have to change on a Bill Belichick team. Again, I think he did good for himself, definitely on the guaranteed side. And he might not have to, carry the ball every single down. He might just be able to do a little bit of running back by committee there, especially if he's just using third down and goal line situations more. He doesn't have to take it on first as much because he's definitely lost a step.
Agreed. Yeah.
He can't read a mother effing hole either. Like he just has no idea what's happening with the line anymore. I swear to God, he would just run into guys the entire second half of last season, just completely boom, running into him. Just he'd find him, he'd make his way, he'd get out of his own way, and then run directly in the back of Zach Martin.
Yeah, I trust Bill Belichick to put Zeke in positions to succeed, not play like center.
Yeah. Yeah. He could be a fullback later on too. Maybe he just goes the big
Mike
man
Tolbert
route.
situation.
Just literally only eats cereal all day.
Another signing, Jadeveon Clowney. It seems like he's been on maybe 10 teams now. Signs his 1 year, $2.5 million deal with the Ravens up to $6 million.
He is a prime dude for the immaculate gridiron now. I don't know if he can do defensive guys actually, but if you can, yeah, he's been on seems like 6 or 7 teams. He just seemed like a generational dude in college.
Yeah. We all talked about him for sure.
Just every time he played coming out of South Carolina, it was just like a highlight reel every single game. He was just a man amongst boys. Did not translate to the NFL.
Agree. Has always shown flashes of greatness, but has never been able to have the consistency that it takes to be a top player.
Moving over to some other big news, Zach Martin finally ended his 3-week holdout and he agreed to a reworked deal that will guarantee him $36 million over the next 2 years, up from $27.5. So it looks like about a 8.5 pay increase. Caleb, do you have any more insider information on that?
I wouldn't say I have insider information. I wish I had insider information. The figure he's getting now doesn't make him the top paid guy or anything. I think he's number 4 or something amongst guards. I think has absolutely deserved that bonus and pay increase. And it still leaves a little bit of money left over for other signings that might need to happen, especially if they do want to get a second reliable running back outside of Deuce, who's been really nice in the preseason.
I think we knew that a deal was going to get done to increase it. We just didn't know when. So I think it's better sooner rather than later.
Yeah, might as well just get it done before the season actually starts. We're
For
not
sure.
worried about him missing games now. He's in the room with everybody going over
Yeah.
film and talking. And yeah,
He'll be fine.
it's a huge plus. He's worth that just money-wise alone.
Moving over to future Hall of Fame Eagles left tackle Jason Peters plans to return for his 20th NFL season.
Yeah.
The bodyguard
Wow.
wants to come back.
Wouldn't surprise me if this is the last one. I think 20 was just a number he had in mind for himself that just sounds so much better than 19. I mean, props to him. He's had a great career, and I hope he has a fantastic season.
Yeah, man. Crazy. We've been watching this guy for so long.
Literally
But
forever.
Yeah.
run it back, dude. Why not? You still got to do it.
I still remember when Andy Reid traded for him. All right, well, hopefully he signs somewhere. Jeff, do you want to just kick us off, talk some more preseason?
Go into some of this preseason action that happened over the weekend. Talk about some young, hot rookie quarterbacks. Maybe not so hot. Bryce Young gets absolutely hammered, does not do well. Anthony Richardson doesn't play. And CJ Stroud gets the ball off of a defensive pick six off the first play, and they don't score from the 5. Some work to be done for these rookies, as you can tell that they're rookies, but fun to actually see some real players in action. Did you guys watch any of the games?
Only some of the highlights and whatnot. I've said for a long time, I don't think Bryce Young's going to have that great of a rookie year. I think size really matters in the NFL because you're just playing against these huge guys. And if you're a quarterback and you're not at least 6 foot, it's a problem. And we've seen it with some of the other smaller guys recently, but Bryce Young, I believe, is like 5'10 or 5'11. He's going to get hit like by some dudes that are like 6'5, close to 300 pounds. It's just like, a completely different body that's hitting you at that point. And it'll be like an entire game's worth of that. The only other like shorter quarterback that I feel like had a lot of true success that was sustained was Drew Brees, but he's not running around. And I still want to say he was like 6 foot. He wasn't 5'10. Getting smacked in the preseason is not good news. That's just all I'll say about the 3 of them. Stroud did look a lot better, though.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Not much else to say, just a lot of rookie growing pains. This is part of the process.
Mhm.
I do want to mention, though, really briefly about one quarterback, rookie Aiden O'Connell. I believe he was a 4th or maybe 5th round pick out of the Las Vegas Raiders. Just to give you guys a quick stat regarding him via Warren Sharp. So among 48 quarterbacks with 20 plus preseason dropbacks, he has 11 air yards per attempt, which is number 1. And then out of 48 quarterbacks, he ranks number 1 in EPA per attempt, which is expected points added, number 2 in excess percentage, number 1 in first down percentage, number 1 in touchdown percentage, and number 1 in third down percentage.
Right.
Wow.
So I know that preseason isn't everything, obviously, but it's really good sign that, yeah, he could be
Wow.
something. And
Yeah.
at that price,
Yeah, very interesting.
There's a lot of question marks at that position. And it's nice to see a little bit of clarity maybe come through here. He'll have to take that into week 3. And if we see it again, that is just, really good news for some of our Raider fan friends and relatives.
and maybe next game, because I did watch his second preseason game, maybe the next game he actually won't come in third string after Brian Hoyer.
Man, that's another Immaculate Gridiron guy.
Yeah, just a name for the books, like a
Yeah.
Josh McCown.
God, why is he still being signed? I don't know. I guess he's a good practice guy.
Okay, we can move on. We have some Patriots news. Isaiah Bolden was released from the hospital after suffering a head injury, carried off in a stretcher during the game. It was stopped, the game between the Pats and the Packers.
I think he was released and flew back with the team even.
Okay, let's get a confirmation on that. But I think he ended up being okay after a big scare there. Been a few of those lately. And I know they've been working on those new helmets and wearing those new helmets in practice. And there was a report about them potentially being added to games sooner rather than later. So see what happens. I think they definitely are still trying to figure out how to prevent more head injuries. Like talking about how the kickoff might be changed pretty soon too as well.
Yeah, they've already started to, I think, practice with it in preseason, but surprisingly, I think most of the kickoffs have been returned.
These guys are trying to earn a spot too. They're just going to go for it.
Yeah.
Also a good point to make.
Yeah, but I think it's just interesting to note because, again, it's like the second time now that we've seen a game like suspended. I mean, it's great actually that we've gotten to this point where we haven't really had that happen, but now I'm just hoping that it's not going to become a more common theme. Let's hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, moving on. we have Buccaneers backup QB Wolford suffered a neck injury. He's also carted off the field and hospitalized for precautionary reasons.
Yeah.
You know, we're still talking about the
Yeah.
same stuff. Like,
guys are just perpetually going to get stronger and faster. So if you have a guy that is much stronger hitting a guy that is much faster, we're just going to continuously see, the body isn't, evolving nearly as fast as personal trainer regimens are.
should we move into the Jimmy Graham news? He was arrested for suspicion of
Oh,
being
yeah.
under the influence. Controlled substance, displayed erratic behavior, walking in traffic, Southern California. Turns out he was actually experiencing a medical episode and a possible seizure. That game
could you
also
imagine?
got canceled, I think, too. Or, the Texans were supposed to practice with the Saints, but I think they canceled that all week. But the game is still happening.
Do you know why? I think I saw they tweeted that, but do you know why they did?
I don't think the two teams like each other. A lot of people on this Texans page I was reading were saying that the Saints and them weren't getting along well anyways, and that might have led to the cancellation.
Could you imagine if you didn't watch football, any of that, you just see this massive dude, Jimmy Graham, no helmet on, obviously, just wandering into the street. And that guy looks a little Frankenstein-y, right?
Yeah.
So that could have just been like, oh my God, what is happening? If he's just wandering in front of your car. I'm just trying to picture that right now.
Moving on. Former Ravens and Seahawks running back Alex Collins unfortunately passed away in a motorcycle accident. RIP. That sucks. Motorcycles are very scary. Be safe out there.
Yeah. Seems like we see one of these kind of a season. Some of these dudes just kind of, they just ride fast. They just kind of take for granted just how that they are not invincible.
Yeah.
And
I remember in college, that guy from Pike died in a motorcycle accident close by where our place was. And he was just driving at some ridiculous speed and, hit something. Gone.
Yeah, that was it. So
it's not worth it, guys. Don't drive like a maniac out there.
Yeah, he was only 28. Rest in peace. I remember it was only just a couple years ago he was on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone had him at one point. He's an awesome backup for the Ravens when he was there. I actually think he was there at first behind Ray Rice, but that's a whole nother thing.
Teddy Bridgewater, if you guys see him rocking the number 50.
No, I didn't see that.
I did. But I don't know why.
I guess that's just his number of choice. I just thought it was just a little interesting. This might be a stretch, but just harkening back to, I remember when they mentioned Tom Brady, just how cerebral he is and the way he would diagnose the players he's going up against. And so he would know all of their numbers and everything. And he would just get a key in on them before pre-snap and know all the numbers. So now just having with all the defensive numbers changes and everything, I think it'll be interesting how some quarterbacks and things adjust to that, just different numbers in general.
Can he change? Can he be 50 as a quarterback?
I think you can kind of be whatever you want now.
What? Okay. Well, that is wild. Moving on, some other off-field stuff here. Michael Oher, the Blindside football player from that movie, per NPR, it alleges that the Tuohy family established a conservatorship and profited off of his name, image, and likeness. He filed a petition in court to get that all dissolved out, but they also allegedly lied to him about his adoptive status at some point.
Yikes.
It's just like a mess. So if they did that, then I hope they get obviously what's coming to them, because they have just tainted that guy's just kind of legacy too. Obviously they did it on purpose, inadvertently. That will always come up now. That's the period to everything, is this last chapter.
Yeah, very interesting. Some pretty surprising stuff. I'm not super surprised that they tried to profit off his name, but the not actually adoptive stuff takes it a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So not a great look for that family at all.
Yikes. Moving on. Taylor Swift has turned down the opportunity to play at Super Bowl 58. Sorry to Travis Kelce and Bill Belichick. Kelce, Swift, and I are all 1989 babies, so big sorry to me too. It's going to be a big, big year for us. But anyway, I posed this question. I'll ask it to you guys too. There's going to be a significant group of people that want those tickets for that game, but not for the game, specifically for that 20 minutes of the halftime. So who would win between a group of Swifties and a group of Super Bowl fans? Who's getting those?
Swifties.
I have to say
exactly.
The Swifties, they're persistent.
They will not be stopped.
And that will be the weirdest football game that's ever existed. It'll
Yeah.
just be a bunch of like tweens and their moms, and it'll just be so loud, like unbearably loud for halftime, but then like kind of quiet and people clapping only during the game.
They would definitely
Well, yeah.
lose a lot on beer sales.
God.
But does the NFL think about these things? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
She
Maybe
is
they need us.
she is a whole different world. It is insane. So especially if she were to just do this following all this stuff she has just done. Random news of the week. Chiefs super fan indicted on bank robbery and money laundering. Classic. Xavier Abadar laundered proceeds through casinos and used the funds to attend Chiefs home and away games. He's known for wearing the infamous wolf mask and costume to games. Anybody have anything else they'd like to add to this super fan who I mean, at least he's not doing anything to harm others, I suppose. He's just going to home and away games, but
The whole story is pretty wild.
Yeah.
He's been on the run for a while. It's one of those things where he almost wasn't like trying to hide himself because he would always wear the wolf mask
Yeah.
at the games.
Yeah, Jesus God. I mean, I bet he's the kind of guy that has shared like his location with like 5 or 6 like close friends and family members. So all it took was like them to go to the police and just be like, "Could you pull him up for a second?" And they just found him. So
It's all woofy.
yeah. Anyway, another kind of last thing football wise, the Schlabcast is going to Arizona, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
We're
we are.
talking some Schlab fantasy draft. We're talking some Schlab golfing. We're talking potentially the first ever Schlab Olympics. There might even be spoiler Schlab spelling bee. I can't even say it. I'm so excited. Yeah, we're going out to Arizona this upcoming weekend. We'll probably put a little live cast together or something. At least podcast the 3 of us together. Really looking forward to it. Guys, what are you thinking? Where's your mind space at right now? I thought about packing tonight, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I've thought about packing. Super excited. The place looks insane. Definitely gonna have some fun plans for the draft and the Schlab Olympics, and we can film that, make a whole video out of that.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we're gonna have some SGA action as well. We're just gonna fill it all up. I don't know if we can. We don't even have enough time, It's like Will Ferrell on a Saturday. Like, can I go to Home Depot too? I don't know if there's enough time in the day, but we'll make time. Can we go to Costco too? Yes, we can.
Oh my
Super
God, what a
excited for
drop.
the draft. Have you guys started preparing at all for fantasy? Anybody started watching anything or doing a few mock drafts?
Hell yeah. Go ahead, Caleb.
No, you're gonna win anyway, Andy. We know. I have done a few mock drafts, but going back into full football mode in the professional life too is taking up a lot of time. I started putting together 33 pianos, by the way. Today was rough.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, a little bit of fantasy work. What about you, Andy? What kind of insane spreadsheets are you bringing with you? Kind of scrolls have you had master made?
Just a couple documents this time, but I have delved into a handful of mock drafts here and there. Let's just say I will be ready come Saturday,
Nice.
come draft day.
Oh my God.
Sweet.
The defending champion, co-defending champion will be here.
I have a few
Hey, if they're
surprises.
not here to say co as well, you just take defending champion, dude. Just roll with it.
Yeah, we'll have to take a pic of you guys there together.
Oh yeah, totally.
Super excited. The place looks super sweet. We'll have a lot of videos coming out from that. I'm sure that whole weekend will be a big Schlob extravaganza. Can't wait to see you all there.
Shameless self plug for the sub channel. Check out Schlob Golfin, putting up some extra videos now. The August mid-month is about to drop. Only one round so far, but man, the tri-state major is about to start. Oh my God, it's about to be. Hurricane Hillary didn't produce a lot of rain, but it's about to start raining rounds. God, that was so bad. Just cut
Rain and
that whole
donks.
stupid thing out, Andy. Man, did not stick that landing.
Well, we're gonna have fun out in
Oh, yeah.
Arizona. That'll be our next video, I would assume. We'll break down our fantasy drafts. We'll do a bunch of stuff, and that was hopefully maybe our last update before the season begins. Maybe we'll do one small tiny one, but we are here, folks. Football is around the corner, less than a few weeks away. Can't wait. What's your plan for the first Sunday? Let's just leave it on that note tonight.
Everybody make sure to leave your comments below. and subscribe to the channel. This is the Schlabcast. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And as always, Shaba.
Shaba. Oh, you just love that Mike McCarthy hiring, huh? Just
No, why?
Just so jazzed.
God. And then I
Uh,
watched him just seriously during that first draft, the COVID draft, and he had his camera like right up here, and he's just like, okay, guys, here's what we're gonna be doing for the draft. It was just they keep zooming in on him. He's this new hire. It's just been infuriating ever since.
Yeah.
It's our year though.
Okay. We'll see you. We'll see you there.